Russ and I are out here on the edge of the Link River to do a little bit of metal detecting. See behind me there, that is not fog. That is smoke from all of the fires here in Southern Oregon and Northern California that are sending smoke our way. We have our first target right down here. It's in the dime range. Doesn't mean that's what it is. We'll dig it up and see what we got. And we found a bottle cap. I imagine we'll find quite a few more of these in this area here where people like to come fishing in the spring. Here's an interesting find here right by the river. I've found several of them here before. I don't know if I found this one, but this here is the base of a shotgun shell. Would have been a paper shell that was sold so that you could make your own loads. And this one says it's a 1901 repeater, and 16 is the number, which means that means it'd be 16 gauge. I'll show you my collection later on, but that's very interesting. I think there's actually some paper still in there from the shell. Cool, I like it. This time dug up a lock just about an inch down below the surface. Old padlock, looks like a standard old master lock. Not real old, just crusty old. Alright, let's see what we got down here. Something down in here. Let's see. Aha! It's even got a hook on it. Got a sinker. Triangular piece of steel. I don't know if it's a punch out or what it is, but it's a perfectly shaped triangle piece of steel. People are freaked out by leeches. They're afraid if they jump in the water, a leech is going to get on them, and nobody, I think, really hardly even knows what a leech looks like. But here's a leech, and he's just a blob with a sucker on one end. And he lives his life in peace in the water, cleaning up whatever he has to. I suppose if you jumped in there for a while and he thought he needed to clean you up, he'd be happy to do that. But there you go. There's a leech. We'll put him in the water, and he'll probably, in a few moments, just be happy to swim away. I guess they don't really swim. They kind of slither. There he goes. Stretching out, uncoiling, flipping over, and slithering away. So leeches aren't that gross, are they? Yeah, I wouldn't be picking it up if I didn't have gloves on. Gross. Got a pretty strong signal right here. Right in the 70s. Just about 2 inches below the surface, so we'll see if we can figure out what it is. Huh, Russ? Pointer has it right there, right near the top. Should be able to just pop it up. Some tough sod here. See if we can find it in here. No. Underneath. Oh, what is it? Piece of aluminum. Oh, I know what it is. It's an aluminum talon. Is it cool? What do you think, Russ? Come here. Is it cool? No, you don't think it's cool either. Got a really solid dime signal here. Something right near the surface. I'd say that has to be like aluminum can. There it is. I knew it. I knew it. It was just picking up in the wrong spot. It's a lovely country lemonade, country time lemonade. Look at that, Russ. Oh, look at that. And a lovely earwig. Ruth hates earwigs. Alright, here's our finds for today. There's the trash, all the different little things that we found, little lock and stuff. And it was a quick hunt, but we got a couple little treasures here. Got a couple little sinkers. That was actually like a 1 ounce sinker. It's pretty good size. A couple of pennies. This one, this is what happens to zinc pennies in a river. Yeah, they pretty much disintegrate into nothing. No way I can get a date. There's the nickel we found. It looks like it's a 1999 nickel. And then, of course, the shotgun head stamp. So it wasn't a great hunt, but Rusty and I did get out, right, bud? Rusty, isn't that better than magnet fishing? Don't you like it better than magnet fishing? Oh, I wanted to show a few of the items from some previous hunts that a few of you have asked me about. Before I do that, though, I wanted to talk about the shotgun head stamps that I've collected. This is the one that I just collected in this recent hunt, the 1901 repeater. 1901 is a Winchester brand. And I do have a number 16 in the collection already. Here's the collection from last fall, and there's the 1901 repeater number 16, or 16 gauge. And the 1901 repeater was dated from 1904 to 1919. Some of the other 1901 head stamps I have collected: a 1901 New Rival number 10, 1901 Blue Rival. Well, those are both dated starting 1901. So I got a few UMC companies as well. Union Metallic Cartridge Company, I believe. 1868 to 1911. That's the Union number 12. I got a high base number 12. 1867 to 1911. I basically went through the internet and sought to date these as close as possible. A few of them may be off because there was some disagreement amongst some of the findings. Got another UMC Monarch and a 12 and a 16, a UMC New Club, and then when UMC and Remington got together, I got a Remington UMC Sure Shot number 12 from 1904 to 1919, a Nitro Club from 1913 to 1915, and then a 410. The only 410 I found down there at 1890 to 1911 was the Remington Express. Got a Federal High Power number 12. Dates ranged on that one from 1918 to 1960. And then a Peters Target, which is 1910 to 1926. And the last one is a U.S. Climax Company number 12, 1864 to 1926. I had no idea there was so many different types of paper shells sold in the early 1900s and just before. But to me, that's pretty awesome. Here is the cannonball that Carlene pulled up. And I'll show you. Here's a chart that I found online of cannonballs. And this would fit right in the area of about a 9-pounder. Both dimensions and weight, as it is just barely over 9 pounds. However, I don't think it really is a solid shot cannonball. I think it was most likely from a large ball mill. And a ball mill was basically like a gigantic tumbler. And they would tumble various types of product, and this would be essentially the media that would crush the product, whatever. Here's the horseshoe that Kelly found. And I decided to run it through electrolysis and clean it up. And I think that is absolutely cool because you can see the grain of the original steel. Next item I want to show you is Caleb's wrench. Caleb, my grandson, pulled this up, and I cleaned it up with electrolysis. I also put a little finish on it to keep it from rusting anymore. And it does say on this side Rico, R-I-C-O, and on this side semi-steel, but I found this absolutely no place on the internet. Semi-steel is a product that was made using just cast iron, and then they would mix various types of scrap steel in it. It's probably not quite as heavy as steel, and certainly not as strong. But this, of course, is Judah's Winchester, 1890 Winchester rifle. I just wanted to show it to you cleaned up. Yes, that is the wooden pump action. No, there isn't any moving parts in this thing, but you can certainly see a lot more detail. I'm going to mount that for him and bring it up to him in just a couple of weeks. Here's the last thing that I wanted to show you. I cleaned up those pistols that my sisters found and made a box out of scrap wood from a pallet. It's all pallet wood. It's very rustic and rough, but I mounted him in there with copper wire, and then I had the little plates made. And then I added the dummy cartridges in there so you could see the basic size and shape of the kind of cartridge that each of the weapons would have fired, starting from the 32 Smith & Wesson, the 38 Smith & Wesson, and the 32 ACP.